The 3 Reubenites came in a canoe.
Yep. It's here. Let me see. I'm trying to get it to start exactly.
Yeah, because basically what happened was there was 3 so-called Indians, you know, Reubenites, so-called Seminole Indians that rolled up and spoke to.
I got it right here.
You got it. Bring it out.
It says it's talking about while they were traveling. It says, waving a banner high in the air, the Indian guide soon was greeted by a puff of smoke far beyond the other bank of the river. In response to his signal, the 2 men waited. Eventually a canoe appeared bearing 3 men and a woman, all of them Indians, to the place where Francisco and Montesinos were standing at the water's edge. It says the woman got off and spoke to Francisco in an Indian tongue that Montesinos could not understand, although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation. She then turned to her male companions to explain the situation. Upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montesinos, and to his utter astonishment said, Shema Yasha Allah Adonai, Allahaya Nawa Adonai, Akkad.
Right, in other words, Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh, Allahaya Nawa Yahweh Akkad. Shema is, O Israel, the Lord our power is one. And that was something that was being said among Israel. Okay? That's why he said to his utter astonishment, he's like, he was taken aback. He said, how these people talking this lingo that, you know, how the hell did they know to speak about that?
Yep.
You know, why? Because they were Israelites. Okay?
It says they had recited in Hebrew the fundamental credo of Judaism. A brief conversation then ensued in their common ancestral tongue, according to Montesinos, whose fluency in it is almost as perplexing to the reader as his narrative, as is that of his 3 mysterious new companions. They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben, and that the tribe of Joseph lived on an island nearby.
They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben, and that the tribe of Joseph lived not too long. That was what? The island of Puerto Rico. You know? And the reason why the Hebrew language that he spoke, and when he wrote it down in dialect, was so perplexing to the reader, was because they didn't understand the Lashon Kodash. So they were speaking the actual Lashon Kodash. So some Israelites that were here kept the actual language and they continued it. But some, you know how Jake is, sometimes Jake will learn the language and then they'll put slang into it, you know, and then by the time you come back to it and listen to it and they trying to talk to you about certain things that you might know the language, you know, and then you be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? You know, but that's just the lingo that they built up. But these particular Israelites, they kept their language pure. And Luis de Torres, which was the interpreter, he knew exactly what language they were speaking of. That's why when the interpreters or the people that got the information later went back to it and was reading it, it was perplexing to them because they didn't understand the Lashon Kodash, which was the Holy Tongue. Because it wasn't written in the pseudo-Hebrew language that was being taught back then. Now, you can read that, brother. You got any more?
That was it.
All right. Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of
Let's finish this up real quick.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 9.
Right.
It says, the birds will resort unto their light, so will truth return unto them that practice in the earth. So
like as the birds return to the resort to their light, so will truth return to them that practice in it. And that's where the Lord got us practicing in the truth and bringing out this information so that those people out there that are part of the elect, that are part of the tribes, can hear and learn and listen. Because only and come back to the fold. Because only the sheep of Yahushua are going to come back, which is what? The elect of Israel. Go ahead, brother. Finish
now back to this Lord Kingsborough document.
We're going to just read a few more sentences on here, and then we're going to close it. And then, you know, it's a lot more information. Other brothers can bring out other stuff too. You know? Go ahead, brother.
It says, and Malvenda says that the natives of St. Michael had tombstones which the Spaniards digged up with several ancient Hebrew characters upon them, as why is God gone away and he is dead, God knows, volume 8, page 373 supplement.
Now these volumes and pages are all the volumes of Kingsborough's books and the page that this particular quote is found in. So if you are lucky enough to get those volumes or be able to go to a certain library that has them, you can go into these different volumes and read that particular chapter or page, and you will see the same exact thing that we're reading to you. Go ahead.
It says, Chronicle of the Order of St. Augustine in Peru.
in Peru. Okay?
2 other stones containing inscriptions in Hebrew and Greek letters.
Hebrew and Greek letters. Okay?
Are stated by Colancha on the authority of Brother Raymond Hurtado to have existed in the neighborhood of volume 8, page 25. The strongest argument, however, is the confession of Montezuma and his nobles, one and all, to Cortez that their ancestors had come from the same part of the globe as the Spaniards, situated towards the rising of the sun. Volume 6, page 53.
How did they come over here? There's a scripture on there, right?
It says 2nd Ezra 13 and 45.
Read that. Just read 2nd Ezra. Just read that one verse. 2nd Ezra 13 and 45.
2nd Ezra 13, verse 45. It says, "For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Asareth."
Right, so now why did the Montezuma tell who was that, Cortez?
Told Cortez that.
Why did Montezuma tell Cortez that they came from the rising of the sun?
Which is the east.
From the east, from the same region that they were from. He didn't say from China.
Right.
From way past, you know, he said from that region. Why? Because where is Israel, Assyria, in comparison to where Europe was at? Not too far.
Yep.
Right.
So he said they came from that same region and they came over to this side of the world. On what? On ships.
Yep.
You know, they didn't cross no motherfucking Bering Strait. That bullshit. Because if you cross the fucking Bering Strait, you take one breath in 500 below 0 degree weather, and your whole lungs would just fucking freeze up. So that Bering Strait bullshit is nothing but that bullshit and a lie. Go ahead.
Reading here?
Yeah, finish up, yep.
The interpreter of the paintings contained in the larger Vatican MS instancing this and other traits of resemblance between the Mexicans and Jews adds, from all these circumstances, the fact is plain and probable that this nation descended from the Jews. Volume 6, page 65.
Yeah, was that it, right?
That's it.
So pretty much with that's just one document. And you know what? That was just only like 5 or 6 pages of that document. Yeah, and if you read further down, it goes into pigs, you know, how they didn't deal with pigs and other, man, all kind of information is out there of the Israelites that were here in this side of the world. Yep. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of all this information, you know. And now that we're coming to the very end, and the Lord is waking up the so-called Latin tribes, the Native American Indian tribes, there's going to be a lot more information that's going to be coming out pertaining to these people that show that they're Israelites also. So I know it's going to hurt a lot of you faggots' feelings out there, but you know what? Get over yourself. All right? So with that, we're going to say shalom, and we're going to catch you next time.
Shalom, brothers.